Clearly, I have the evil Holy Spirit in my head, so I've got to fix that. So Peter was against, Peter was who he built the church on, right? Yeah, the guy that is not obsessed with kosher food. Wow, I said that wrong. That's kind of embarrassing for everyone that knows that. That's kind of a well-known thing. Paul was the one that was fighting with him. All right, so let's read this real quick. And the next day, this is the verse 9, and on the next day as they were on their way and approaching the city, Peter went on the housetop about the 6th hour to pray, and he became hungry and was desiring to eat. But while they were making preparations, he fell into a trance, and he beheld the sky opened up, and a certain object like a great sheet coming down, lowered by 4 corners to the ground, and there were in it all kinds of four-footed animals and crawling creatures on the earth and birds on the air. And a voice came to him, "Arise, Peter, kill and eat." But Peter said, "By no means, for I have never eaten anything unholy and unclean." And again a voice came to him a second time, "What God has cleansed, no longer consider unholy." And this happened 3 times. And immediately the object was taken up into the sky. And now while Peter was greatly perplexed in mind as to what the vision which he had seen might be, behold, the men who had been sent by Cornelius, having asked directions for Simon's house, appeared at the gate, and calling out, they were asking whether Simon, who was also called Peter, was staying there. And while Peter was reflecting on the vision, the Spirit was said to him, "Behold, 3 men are looking to you." All right, so what is the moral of this story right now? Someone is trying to make me say the wrong thing about the Bible so that everyone can hop on it. No, Peter's the one that's for the Gentiles. Okay, so if you're a Jewish person and you got me to say that, what does that tell you? That's a Gentile religion. You will never understand what it's like to be a Gentile. Pardon me, but we are Gentiles. So let's talk about Gentiles hearing the good news. And opening his mouth, Peter said, "I most certainly understand now that God is not one to show partiality, but in every nation the man who fears him and does what is right and is welcome to him. The word which he sent to the sons of Israel, preaching peace through Jesus Christ." Christ, I don't know what you would say, Christo, I don't know. "He is Lord of all. You yourselves know the thing which took place throughout all Judea, starting from Galilee after the baptism which John proclaimed. You know of Jesus of Nazareth, how God anointed him with the Holy Spirit and with power, and how he went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil, for God was with him." All right, so all the circumcised believers, this is 45, who had come with Peter were amazed because the gift of the Holy Spirit had been poured out upon the Gentiles also, for they were hearing them speaking with tongues and exalting God. Then Peter answered, "Surely no one can refuse the water for these to be baptized who have received the Holy Spirit just as we did." So we talked about the Holy Spirit in John, which is like the Logos, the forms of the good. And let's go back to John. So we've talked about the allegory of the cave, where there's a light outside and it's only casting shadows on the cave wall, and everyone's inside the cave and they're in the dark, and the darkness does not comprehend what's happening in the light. And the darkness hates the light, and that is the moral of the allegory of the cave, which is a story from Plato. So the Republic of Plato is where it is. And it's very hard to read the entire Republic of Plato, so you probably don't want to read it. You're going to waste your time unless you're getting lessons on it. So, the guy that goes out in the light, it burns his eyes, but his eyes adjust. No one else can handle adjusting to the light. They can't handle the bad words. They can't handle, the things that person says. And, I think the reality is that, you have to understand how influenced by Greek thought this is, and how influenced the Greek language is by me. Verse 9 says, "There was the true light, which coming into the world enlightens every man." And the true light, which is me now, is about to enlighten every man on who we are, which is we are from another planet. There are apparently 16 planets. And I am a clone of a person that rules those planets. So truth here is aletheia. My name is Alex. I have a lot of names that I go by, but in my everyday life, I am Alex. Alaletos is unspeakable, unutterable, which cannot be uttered. Alepho, the base of to oil, so to anoint with oil, to make holy almost. There's Alepho, that's the one I just said. So let's go down to there's aluron, which is flour and meal, which is like the cornerstone of like most of the world's diet. Aletheia, which is the truth, and that's the thing. Like I am like the truth, and that's the thing. I have really come to speak the truth. I've talked about this in a previous video, but the word, which is the logos, which is like the forms of the good, nothing comes, no wisdom, no knowledge comes anywhere from, it comes from anywhere but through the logos in Greek philosophy. Like that is like what the word is the logos. And so like all knowledge and all goodness and all the like shipbuilding knowledge and agricultural knowledge and like all these, the computer knowledge, all these incredible things that make our society so incredible, all of it comes through us, through the logos. But I'm the logos, and then the logos became flesh. And the reality is, like, it's a group of us, and I know that I am not like every single part of the logos, clearly. I think from this, when he says that John existed before him, or that Isus existed before John the Baptist, clearly John's a clone also of a very, very good preacher. Paul was the guy that didn't know Jesus, and Paul's the one that was all about circumcision and stuff. And that's the real thing about like Paul, like worrying about cutting up people's dicks and stuff. And Peter being the one that was reaching out to Gentiles, and me saying the wrong thing when, like, trust me, I know who Peter's role in the church. Like, I don't know how in the world someone can get me to say something wrong, but you have to understand, like, you can't get me to say something wrong. I can't believe that you can see my pipe on there. Oh well, sorry.